record.
Are you opening this week? I think I opened last week. Is it your turn? It's your turn, right?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We can both open.
We can do it at the same time.
This is the opening.
Wait, this is the 11th show, so this is a big deal. So we really have to get our stuff together. So my name is Rita, and that's Ryan, and this is the Rita and Ryan Podcast. Yep. This is the opening, and we never know how to open because this is the show. We know our name, and then we just start talking. We talk about a variety of things, but welcome to all the millions of fans who found us. And Ryan, would you like to say a few things to all of our millions of fans?
Yeah, you can go to visit our merch store to help support our podcast. It's through the trashcanconductor.com. Go there, click on podcasts, the Rita and Ryan podcast, or you can actually just click on the store of trashcanconductor.com, and you will see Rita and Ryan merch there, coffee cups and shirts. So hello. Please support our podcast. We have
support our podcast, and newsflash, we're getting kind of famous because we have an audio podcast on Anchor now. Ryan set that up. And newsflash, we have a Gmail account. So we have an email account. So this is getting serious. And today I started a Twitter account.
Yep. And this is the first episode that is going on the Rita and Ryan YouTube channel. So while you're watching this, go ahead and subscribe because we did switch channels. We have our own YouTube channel now. So we are getting super official.
We're getting famous. And we're getting famous. Come on, Ryan.
Exactly.
You know, for everybody who has followed us from the very beginning, we will always remember you. And as the troves and droves of fans surface, we won't forget you.
Nope.
Speaking of our greatest fans, have you talked to your mother this week?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Well, I talked to Chef Jenny Fox, one of our number one fans.
That's good.
Did you know that Jenny's in the Indianapolis, Indiana area? She's a personal chef and meal prep extraordinaire. Have I ever mentioned that before?
I believe you have.
So I talked to Jenny, and we text a lot. But yes, Jenny wrote on our, she writes every single week on our Twitter and on our YouTube account. Yep. This is the best show on the internet. So Jenny, we have to always do a shout out to you because.
Thank you for your YouTube comments. I appreciate it. It helps the algorithm.
Button. Yes, for the one comment and the like.
Thank you very much.
Now, speaking of us, Rita and Ryan.
Hit that share button also.
That's right. Okay, this is exactly what I want to talk about. So the Rita and Ryan show is on YouTube now. Well, it's always been on YouTube. Through Trash Can Conductor, now we have a new site. And now we're trying to promote it utilizing social media. Ryan, what's our weakest thing between the two of us?
Social media.
That would be social media. So I will tell you,
neither one of us like it.
So I'm barely on it. So today I set up the Twitter account, and then I followed me, Ryan, and then Chef Jenny Fox of the Indianapolis, Indiana area, personal chef and meal prep extraordinaire. And then I forgot for us to follow the channel. So it looks like we're following 3 people with 0 followers. So for all of you watching and enjoying the show, we can be found at Rita Ryan Podcast on Twitter.
Yep.
So follow us, and we'll be slowly promoting it and asking people to follow us. But I just thought it was funny today we got the Anchor, we got the email. I checked the email today. Ryan hasn't checked it. I haven't checked it in a few days. But newsflash, we were on Spotify with the one episode that you uploaded.
Yep.
Apple, of course, and a bunch of different podcasts. Well, Google, and then Anchor, but a bunch of different podcast platforms that I can't remember. But great job doing that, Ryan. And maybe we'll go on Facebook, but it's very organic.
I'm actually planning on planning on doing Facebook tomorrow. I'm off work, so I'm going to finish up some of the social media stuff and
Nice.
and update the landing page.
What about can you also do Instagram while you're on Facebook since they're connected? Or is that my job?
I can set it up, but it would be best if you linked it to your Facebook.
Oh, got it.
So
Okay,
yeah, I can start it, but after we sign in, when you have the password, link it up to your Facebook.
Okay. So great news, everyone. We're rolling into the social media empire. And so we'll keep you updated on our success. And if you know of a social media manager looking to help two very strange people, just send us an email.
Yeah.
And do you remember our email address? R&R podcast?
I don't remember it offhand.
Okay.
I have it added in my Google thing, so I just click on the button, and so I haven't had to and I haven't had time to update our page.
The letter R, the letter N, the letter R, podcast@gmail.com.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're excited. That I think we set that goal 2 weeks ago, and then I came in last week and said, "Oops, didn't do any of it."
But that's okay because I had started stuff last weekend.
And Ryan started it, and then I woke up this morning thinking we're going to do a show tonight, and I can't go empty-handed. But it is a great lesson, and I just wanted to put out there it's our weakness, and we want more people to find out about us, join us, because we're going to start having live people on very, very soon. And so
I think the best thing for me for the social media stuff is we'll need to schedule it, because if I have a schedule in mind where I'm like, okay, I'll do this on this platform, so that might be a good idea, especially with my, I guess, the way my brain works.
Right. And how does your brain work?
I don't know anymore.
So, okay, but if you know that with your brain not knowing what it's doing, but if you schedule it, your brain will be able to focus on the schedule.
Yeah, it'll be like, okay, you have to do this. Yeah, it'll be more of a, I'll be like, oh crap, yeah, I have to do this.
Oh crap, we have to do it. That's going to be our tagline. That's this two social media titans here. Oh crap, we have to do it.
Yeah, that's my.
Oh crap, wonder why no one's watching the show.
Those are my elegant thoughts on social media. Oh crap, I have to do that.
Oh crap, I have to do that. So, okay, so has your week gone like most weeks? You just work and work and work and work and work.
And this week was a 6-dayer.
Oh, that you had 6 days last week as well.
It's no, the week before last. I think I don't know anymore. It could have been, but it could have been. But there's been a couple of 6 days. But no, I'm off the next couple of days.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, so
you're gonna
get some stuff done.
So you'll schedule yourself to get the social media taken care of.
Yep.
But if you're off for the next 2 days, you probably could do my social media part, the Instagram and the Twitter. Right?
Yeah, in between doing all of my chores and errands and all those fun things that add up.
Are you trying to make me feel guilty?
Oh no, I'm.
So what amazing thing happened for you this week, Ryan? What one amazing thing that you went like, oh man, that's amazing?
I don't know.
Can't think of anything off the top of your head?
No, not really.
Anything that you would go like, that's pretty cool?
Yeah, maybe pretty cool. I think it was maybe yesterday. The broken I can't say the word, Broken Simulation, that podcast with Sam Tripoli and Johnny Woodard.
Right.
Yeah, their Twitter, they were doing, it's like Follow Friday, and they were like, if you follow us, we'll follow you back. And I hadn't been following that one of theirs. Like Sam has 12 different podcasts, and so I don't, doesn't necessarily feel the need to follow all of them. But
Right.
yeah, Johnny posted that with the Broken Sim one. I was like, I'll follow it. Like I really, that's a fun podcast actually. If you
Do you listen to all 12 of them or try to? Yeah.
I listened to Broken Sim, which is him and Johnny. That's a really fun podcast. It's kind of like this, but there's some random news stories. And Sam tells, it's like this, I guess this themed where we just talk about stuff. But anyway, it's a they consider themselves the sports center for the apocalypse.
That's very cool.
And so,
That's
anybody
very
wants
cool.
a good, fun podcast, Broken Simulation with Sam Tripoli and Johnny Woodard is super fun. So they followed me back on Twitter. So that was kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. Yeah, I'm finding myself having to kind of detox from podcasts because a podcast kind of took over my YouTube video. Well, listening and then because it's really, there's some really great shows. And then one show will have a guest and it leads to following them on their podcast. And that's a really great show. And then I'm just running around looking for different titles for really great shows. So I just had to go, okay. Because this is my first thought was, I'm starting to think, well, I want to think as originally as possible and not kind of talk about what someone else is talking about.
Right.
So, which it's but anyway, but yeah, there's a ton of really great podcasts.
Which is the way we do it, which is kind of fun because does keep it original because we, just
have no idea what we're going to talk about. Right.
So it's definitely original.
Yeah. And the thing too, so, but was really great that happened for me. Thank you for asking.
That's where I was going next. Yeah. How was your week? What amazing thing happened for you?
I had a business coach like 10, 11 years ago. And then we kind of lost contact the last few years as I was kind of reimagining my career and where I was going. And we just touched base, but in a very odd, fate way So it was just because I hadn't thought of her. And then for whatever reason on my calendar, I saved like the very first meeting that we had on my calendars. And I was trying to consolidate all my calendars, all the app calendars, instead of it being like 5 different times one thing would come up because the app was pulling up every single calendar I've ever had and uploaded throughout the years. So all of a sudden I just look and I hadn't deleted, but it saved it like an anniversary date.
Okay.
And I saw her name, but there was like 7 of them, just one right after the other going, that's really odd, but it made me think of her. And so I called her. So it's very cool. Nice. And it was as if, but it's a business coach, but also a very good friend. And then if anyone has a business coach, life coach, they tend to, especially working out with you for a while, they know you inside and out because they're really trying to pull your weaknesses so you can recognize them and build up your strengths. And she was someone who guided me and helped me transition from one career to another. And it was very painful at times and very exhilarating. But then when you start on your new journey, you don't necessarily need a business coach because you're trying to recreate yourself. And she went off with other clients. But anyways, that was really amazing. Nice. Really amazing to connect up. And so, and I told her, I said, it's time because I've got all these other really cool things going. She's got some really neat things going. And I said, probably time for our energies to come back together so you can see what I'm working on. And when I'm ready and for more guidance. But yeah, so that was really cool. I just wanted to shout out and say it's cool when, when you, somebody from the past that was really meant a lot to you, mentor, that you just get a reminder, because sometimes not sometimes, all of a sudden you go, how did like so many years go by? Because life goes by fast. You go, wow, there's somebody I just really loved and I really thought was amazing. And I saw her name and I was compelled just to call and go, hey, which is really cool.
That's cool. Our number was still the same.
Yeah.
Because
it was very exciting.
Yeah, a lot of people change their numbers. So that's cool.
Yeah. Is that what you find in your life? Like a lot of people go, that's Ryan, changing my number.
No, I don't. I'm bad at reaching out to people.
Yeah.
No, but I do know I've had friends that are like, oh, this is my new number. Here's, got a new number again.
Right.
Oh, this is my number. I got a new.
That's your new number.
Yeah.
You got a number. And then friends that don't.
Right.
Yeah. It all depends too. It's because somebody who, like I said, means so much to you and they're a mentor and somebody you trust just because you've shared so many personal things. And then that cycle with them ends. And then, time goes on. It's just an awesome thing. This is for me, just to go. It's really nice to be reminded of those connections. It never ended, just time went through. We just didn't see each other because it was
right.
If that time didn't exist. And so it was just really awesome. And so that was really great. I didn't really think I was going to say that. That was just off the cuff because I was just trying to come up with something to ask you. And I knew you'd come up with something pretty cool, but being followed by one of your number one, you're Sam Tripoli's one of his number one fans.
Yeah, he's he's a super funny comedian.
Yeah, this is good. Funny is funny. Funny is good. Hey, Ryan, so I do, of course, have to write a couple words down. I'm not like
okay.
you. I'm not cool like you, where I could just walk into to say, let's talk about whatever. So, ready for my thing?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, here's my question. Do you dream? And if you dream, do you remember your dreams?
Rarely. When I do remember them, they're always super weird. And oftentimes I know I dreamed, but I don't know what I dreamt.
Right. So I've always said I never remember my dreams. A couple times that falling dream where you wake up and your heart is racing and it feels like what I describe it as, when you go to a amusement park and you're on that big drop ride where they drop you super fast, and or you're coming down the roller coaster and you feel that pressure of just that, I forget what they call it, but you just drop it and your body's got to catch up with the speed of dropping so quickly. Anyway, I've had that dream when I woke up and it took me a little bit of time to get back to sleep because I thought, well, was I being chased? Did I fall off a cliff? I don't know. But usually I remember nothing. But in the last week, I've had like 3 really trippy dreams, and I remember them.
Nice. I wish I remembered more dreams.
Yeah. So but I did have one about you.
Uh-oh.
This is what was so detailed about it, which is why I'm bringing it up. We did our road trip. We were on a road trip. And we decided to set up cameras in the car and then live stream at certain times, like when we cross straight lines, and this is what we're going to do. But what really starts to happen is when the cameras are off, we decide we don't like each other. And then when the cameras are on, we're like totally cool, like we are, buddies and pals and stuff. And so what happens is we get all these people and fans who go, oh my God, they're like the best of buddies and they're the best of friends. And so we have to pretend we like each other in the public, but we really hate each other behind the scenes. Is that the funniest thing? I kept going, oh my God. And then we got into
that would be so awkward.
I know. All of a sudden, we're in the middle of nowhere at a hotel. You're in your hotel room. I'm in my hotel room, and you're pounding on the door saying, "Listen, I'm producing this production because we have all the cameras, right? You're going to produce it and you're going to direct it." And you wanted to do like a Big Brother thing where people go into those rooms, those confessionals, where they talk, and you set a camera up in the closet, in the hotel closet. And I kept saying, "Ryan, I'm in a hotel room by myself. The whole room's a confessional. Why am I sitting in a closet in an empty hotel room by myself talking to a camera?" And you're like, "I'm the director of this thing. Oh my God, it was." And see, in my dream, I wasn't laughing, but I was going, "You're a diva." And you're saying, "No, you're a diva. And we're going to do this." It was so darn funny. I remember waking up going, "What in the hell?" But because it was this paradox of going, everyone thinks that we love each other, but behind the scenes, we're, like, who's the Martin and Lewis? Remember, behind the scenes, they didn't like each other. They broke up and everything. But I think that wouldn't happen because we'd last about 3 miles hating each other on the road.
Yeah, I was
we wouldn't be able to fake it. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to fake it. I was like,
neither one of us have the personality to be able to, like,
to be inauthentic like that. To go,
it would have to be a lot of money. Like,
exactly.
if it were, like,
oh my God.
But it's like right. It's like depends on how many zeros are at the end of are in there. Then maybe.
Right.
But so no, neither of us have the person.
Right. My dream fast forwards to getting a call from VH1. Does VH1 even exist anymore?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
No.
And they're going to do a behind the music kind of thing on us. Like, what happened? Where are they now? And then they do. And then we still hate each other like 20 years later, and we're old, and we're sitting we won't even get in the same room together. And so it's so damn funny. It was so funny. Just like waking up going, Rita, you've just got to stop. I know. I'm thinking and so like reading it, and that's what it was like. It's like VH1's calling, and then it's like, Ryan's doing it, but he won't do it in the same room. Well, I'll do it too, because we both, wanted the fame. That was our personality on the thing, but it was so funny to remember it. And I wake up going, am I remembering this? Is this a premonition? Because of course it's not. Because I know. Because so I was talking to Jenny. So the road trip's going to be to Colorado, or whenever Jenny moves next year somewhere, maybe to Colorado. That's her plan. Okay, I'll do the Rita and Ryan road trip. But I think it would just be
many R's.
Rita and Ryan road trip, yes. Would we have that? Yeah, I've seen it right now. I guess we'd have to have the third one backwards too, right? Facing the other one, like yours in the middle. Well, you're the artist here. Come on, let's not fight.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
Possibly. Could be.
We'll test out all of the options. You don't know until you. Right. I'll test out all of the options. And
I'll say that looks great because I have no idea. But yeah, but I just thought that was funny. But really, I think here's my premonition. This is what I'm going to take from the crazy dream. Oh, we have to do a road trip, which we are going to do. And then it's going to be really fun. But as we have to build up and, of course, earn enough money to pay for it. And
right.
And so, but Ryan, I will say right here in my pretend contract for the road trip, if I have my own hotel room, I'm not going to work in the closet. I just think that's...
You're not. Okay.
That was like the biggest fight. It's like, I didn't understand. It's like, you don't have to understand. I'm the artistic director here. I'm like, you're everything to do with the production. I'm just saying, why can't I sit at the desk? There's a desk in the hotel room. Just listen to me. It's for effect. I said, it looks like I'm sitting in a closet by myself. It was, so detailed. I just loved it. But anyway, I guess it's all negotiable, right? I guess if you pay me $100 million, I'll sit in a closet.
Right.
Honestly, come on. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's let all morals go out the door, all pride for $100 million. I will talk in a closet for hours on end.
I was gonna talk anyway. I guess I'll sit in the closet.
Come on. It's me. Come on. Right. Whether we talk. So yeah, I thought that was funny. And so then it made me go on this little journey Googling about dreams, what they mean. And then there's too many opinions on it, too many studies on it. I just said, I'm just going to make up what I want, which is the premonition is we have to do it. And the good news, if your dreams are opposite than reality, we're not going to get the VH1 behind the music thing, but
it'll be some other documentary.
No, but that's what cracked me up when I remember going, VH1, that's from like 20 years ago. Do they still, I don't know if they still exist. I know MTV's still on, but I don't even know if MTV has music. So anyway.
I think they just do Road Rules and Real World.
Are they still on or no?
So.
Do they still have like,
I don't know. I think they did a reunion thing not long ago.
That show, don't you think that show was the start of reality TV though? I think that show was.
Yeah.
It's got to be 30 or 40 years old.
I wanted to be on Real World.
Remember that show with Puck, the guy from San Francisco? Remember that one when he was on it?
I don't.
Yeah.
All of them blend together, and I don't remember anyone specifically.
I think I mainly remember him because they made a big deal about he was from San Francisco. He was a delivery driver on his bike. But he was the guy coming in to be the troublemaker. And then you start to see the pattern, what they're creating. Get a lot of different personalities together and then give them lots of access to alcohol and then tape it. And take them out of their element, right? Yeah. And put them in, a house together. It was interesting. I remember seeing one day they had a marathon and I watched it and I thought it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, but it wasn't meant to be funny.
I liked some of the Real World Road Rules challenges.
Oh yeah.
Like those were kind of fun.
Yeah. But you're younger than me, so probably more your age group, I think. I can't remember, but I remember it being a very, very long time ago.
Yeah, I was in high school when it started, I think.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, okay, that's boring. Right. Well, all right, we talked about your facial hair. Did we talk about your facial hair? No, we talked about it pre-show.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the cover of this week's episode, not tonight's, but from last week that just released. If you see the thumbnail, you'll see this very good-looking man with a very big beard and very doesn't have a shirt on, and that's our Ryan.
Yep.
So we talked about it last week. He put his money where his mouth is, and so we all get to see what he looked like. That must have been a lot of work doing those abs.
Oh yeah, it's expensive to look like that too.
Is it?
Yeah, the amount of food you gotta
eat.
Right. Like the food, the gym. I worked out, a couple hours a day.
What for your abs? Was it just crunches? I mean, what does it to get those abs like that?
No.
The combo?
Yeah. All kinds of stuff. I mostly do leg lifts. And when
on your back?
I like ab slings. Where you put your arms in a sling and lift your leg up and side to side, and so I do stuff with those. The rolly wheel thing is cool. At that time, I was doing a lot of rowing. I loved rowing. I was I don't know. My pre-workout at that time was 35-40 minutes on the rower.
And did you do it because you were compelled to have a really fit body, or you were getting kind of addicted to it and you just wanted to?
I was fat before. I was kind of normal, younger, and then in my late 20s, I got fat. I was big, and lost it all. Lost about 100 pounds. And then that's just because I wanted to see if I could do it. I'd never
Right.
had a six pack before, and I just kind of wanted to see, like, if I could pull it off.
And it takes a lot of work to keep it going, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work.
Constantly working that muscle.
Yep. And
did it make you feel stronger? Did it make you feel like more attractive?
Oh yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's kind of funny. Like, people are nicer to you when it's because I've been a wide range of attractiveness, throughout
right.
and like at the points where I've been like the best looking, like it's kind of funny. Like, people are like so much nicer to you. It's very sad.
No, and it is a thing of what you look like, because I mean that first impression. Because I've been places before where, and a friend of mine said the same thing. Like, I'll carry myself in a way like in a more professional manner, especially if I'm out and about working and I'm in a jacket and slacks and a blouse. So I look like I worked, as a business person.
Right.
So I'll go into a store to shop, and for some reason I remind people that I might be the manager. So they ask me, they stop me and ask me. And so I had this conversation because my friend said that happens to me too, and it bothers her. I said, oh, I will always say this. I swear to God, I do this. I'll go, oh, I don't work here, but I do know where that's at. I said, I said, I don't remember the aisle numbers. I just know it's 3 over. That's where the macaroni is, whatever it is, right? But it happens to me so often. So I think there's at different times of our lives, we have a look that people just automatically go, excuse me, dear, can you please tell me?
Now I have this. Sir, will you please move along? You're scaring everyone.
But it's true, because if I came on the show looking like I look about an hour before the show, which is, a tank top and shorts and my hair pulled back and no lipstick on, no makeup on, it'd be like,
if I look like I did when I got home from work, like sweaty, my hair, like I pull my hair back in a ponytail and like wear a bandana, and so my hair's all like matted and I've like got sweat and dirt all over me. I don't know. People might. Maybe somebody.
Well, that's not exactly what I look like before I go on. I'm just saying that, the casual way we walk around our homes, or you walk around dirty all the time.
I do dirty jobs. Like I
know, we know, right? 6 days a week. You work harder than the rest of us. It's like a game. You're somebody's like, who can top that? You always have a friend who can do it more. It's like, I work this week. Well, I work 6 days. I work really hard. Yeah. Well, I dig ditches. It's like, I remodel homes. I physically work harder. It's like, come on, Ryan. You're right. You're better than all of us. All of us people. Just and then I'm rubbing it in your face to say people think I'm a manager just because I'm shopping at the store. And I didn't lift a finger.
Sure. That's not where I was going with that.
But let's go back to the first impressions. Is because you can be invisible. That's what I say. It's like, if I go shopping, no makeup, put a hat on, tank top, shorts, sandals, totally visible, which is what you kind of want.
Yeah.
In life, but there's a way about it. But I agree, is that if someone's first impression, and if somebody has it in their head that people who are overweight aren't as whatever their message is, they have a negative thing, then they'll be like, oh, I'm ignoring you. Versus somebody who's more fit, in their brain, they see something different. Because whether you're overweight or totally buff, you haven't changed.
Well, you changed a little.
What do you get, meaner?
No, not meaner. Like
more approachable.
Like, if you grow, people sometimes grow.
Right.
And I like to think I've slowly gotten better as a person over the years. So
with your abs?
Yeah, and my personality, maybe.
No, and also but honestly, the one thing that I think, and I really admire in you, and I'm not kidding, you do a lot of things, but you finish a lot of things. So like that first time when I interviewed you, which by the way, your interview's on private on my website. So it's not on my website. I got to get on the website.
Yeah.
I need to find the person who helps me with my website.
Where will
I wonder where he is.
Where is he?
Who is he? But no, I need to make it public on my YouTube channel so people can hear your entire story of all the things you do. But that is one thing, because you completed something. And so you went from being overweight and then getting all the way to the point of washboard abs. That's a completion. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, that's that's a big commitment. So,
and it makes it easier to just be okay with being normal. Like, cause I've just like a normal body, like I'm not fat, I'm not skinny. Like I'm just like would consider it a normal body type now. And I'm cool with it. Like, I'm like, you know what? If I have the free time and extra money, like I know what I can look like with some effort and
plus, and on the reverse, you also know what it's like to gain a lot of weight.
Right. And
so then so you have your mental guidelines that say,
I recognize those patterns that got me to those places. And
one of the things besides, I mean, it's not just the physical labor that you do for work, but you like to run. And I would imagine if all of a sudden you were able to change your life and the Rita and Ryan show got picked up and we got enough money that we could support ourselves and have a good time with it, just going, oh, you don't have to do that manual job anymore. You would have to focus just as much on physical labor, because all the work that you do right now, you would be missing. So you'd have to change it up. You'd have to go, I have to focus on that, just because you could have the propensity, right?
Right. And and like I like being physical. Like it helps with I have insomnia, and so I didn't really figure that out until like I started doing a lot of physical activities, and like really focusing on my fitness. I realized I sleep better if I kind of wear myself out physically more often, and so that helps. So if I, when I get lucky enough to ease off on manual labor stuff, I look forward to working out again. Like I love exercising. Like it's super fun.
Yeah, that would be a cool guest to have, somebody who talks about fitness and that you could just have a conversation with, just in terms of future guests, not a theme show. It's got to be, just saying, hey, you do fitness, I know fitness, and then talk about what we're talking about, which is talking to people about having that commitment to see it through to the end. Like to say, I can get myself to a point of being, like I said, super buff or just normal.
Right.
But it takes work.
Yep. It takes
and then with and their awareness. Exactly.
Everything takes work. That is kind of
the only thing for me is that the only thing for me though is people who say they enjoy exercise or they enjoy running. I can't get that. This is the thing is that
it's very meditative for me.
Right. Well, for me is that I could go gangbusters, and then I'll hit maybe, there's a 2-week travel period where there's not a gym that I could just do the treadmill or an elliptical, do some cardio while I'm there. And then all of a sudden, all this work for a year, I'll go, oh yeah, I'm not going to get up at 5 and work for 45 minutes to an hour. And then it's a month later, I'll do it next week kind of thing. And then you start getting all those, and not only I think for me, exercise makes me more aware of what I'm eating, and that's all ties it in, so that it's all connected. So my thing is that in the morning I'm like, I can't believe I'm getting up this early. I have to drink all this water. I got to do this, and then after 45 minutes, and then another 15 minutes of cool down. The rest of the day, I'm like, I'm so glad I did that. But it never changed. I can't believe I'm doing this. Because I have a thing with my legs is that if I can get through the first 8 minutes, I can do it forever.
Right.
Because the first 8 minutes always are the hard and the burn. And because you just push. And so I was sit there go, I'm not going to make it to 8. That's my first 8 minutes. Okay. And then I listen to a song. I keep turning it up louder and louder and louder and just staring at the seconds going by. But it's like, for me, it's like always this roller coaster ride going, no one needs it. Or then I'll go, tomorrow I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I get up at 5, drink a bunch of water, and then go sit on the elliptical, then stand on it, go, maybe I'll do a treadmill. Maybe I'll go check my horoscope. It takes a lot. So I appreciate that commitment. I just am not the person that's going to ever say, I can't, I don't want to say never, but to go for all the good reasons of what it is. It's just this funny thing of dreading doing it. And then afterwards going, I'm just glad I did it. Because for me, when you do it first thing in the morning, then relax a little bit, then go take a shower, and your whole day, it just feels like such an accomplishment. The rest of the day just seems to go.
I'm not a morning exercise person.
You're not?
No, I'm not a
morning person at all.
I'm terrible with mornings.
I don't know.
Mornings are rough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like that's not the case. I'm very lucky still that I just don't require a ton of sleep. But so I get up early and I, go to bed 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, get up 5:15 naturally.
Yeah.
So it's and here we are at 8 o'clock at night, whatever time it is, because I can't see it, but I'm always like, I wake up in this mode. I have a cup of coffee. I sit and meditate a little bit. I sit and stare at my elliptical machine. But while my brain guards, so I don't know if I'm a morning person. I just think that I'm like this all day.
Yeah, I have to get going. I gotta work. Like it's like all creaky.
Serial killer. You're serial killer in the morning.
Oh, you'd get away. I wouldn't be.
I get away.
I wouldn't be able to catch you.
You're right. Like, serial killer. Only nighttime hours.
My back.
Nighttime hours.
I go to run and shift a disc in my back. My knee would give out in the morning.
Yeah, you sound like an old man.
I feel like an old man sometimes.
No. When I remember turning 40, people were like, "What's it like?" I said, "Mentally, it's okay, but you understand the abuse you did to your back and your knees and your feet. Just pushing and pushing and pushing. Whether it's scuba, volleyball. I mean, whatever is that. Just all the things that you were told to do. Bend at the knees. Don't do all the weight. Is that you feel and then it's genetic. If you've got genetic bad knees. If
one thing doesn't hurt, something else does, and as soon as that stops hurting, you hurt something else.
Well, yeah, I had this little piece of something they call degenerative joint disease. It's like a microscopic little chip of calcium that floats around, but when it hits into a nerve, it's excruciating. So it really, the best way to describe it, it felt like if I could just pop it, almost like popping your nail, your knuckles. And, doctor's like, you have to have surgery. We kind of go in and suck it out. But until you have any sort of knee discomfort, you never feel your knees. You just never feel your knees. And that's what I always think about. Damn. When someone's like, oh, my knees, unless they were an athlete, right? Basketball player, football player, somebody who since an early age. Really
I've always had bad knees.
Yeah.
Like my knees,
again, Ryan's gonna top everybody.
No, it's just the
you were born with bad knees.
It was like a weird. The muscles on the outside of my legs are more developed than the ones on. That's why I started running is to develop so my knees wouldn't hurt as bad. Is actually
it help?
Yeah.
Does it help?
It helps. That's another reason why I need to exercise is so my knees hurt less.
Going to knee specialists, it's amazing how because like at one time one of my knees, because I said oh, my right knee is just super painful, and they took x-rays, of course, both knees are like your left knee is 10 times worse than your right knee. But what happens is
You're
you start to
compensating.
compensating, right?
Yeah.
So it's like what happened is you don't even realize it. Your left knee is what's making you walk like that. So it's affecting your lower back. I'm like, but this is my favorite part. This is why, you're getting older. Because then it's like, well, people your age, Rita, start to, I'm going, when does that start? Oh, in your 40s. That's what's like. So that's why I say it's like, welcome to your 40s. Anything to do with your joints. So it's like, yeah, we'll help you. We can help supplements and because the big thing was keep it moving. Don't let it stiffen up. That was the big thing. Push through the pain. And physical therapist said, walk normally because you will compensate without even realizing it. And newsflash, I didn't realize your brain can get used to walking the wrong way very quickly. It took a lot for me to not, to take the pressure off my back. I thought, oh my gosh, I got some sort of disc thing. No. You're walking
try
like
to have
Donald
good
Duck.
posture. Gotta try to have good posture.
You're right. You're waddling like Donald Duck because you don't realize the pain. That's not a nice thing to tell somebody.
A new one is for me is like the sciatic back pain thing that where you like and then your like leg doesn't work right. Like that's a new one for me, and I'm like,
I had honestly, this is I was 21 years old. I was at a Phil Collins concert, and I was my girlfriend Vivian, and I said, something's wrong. I feel like this burning heat from my hip down my butt. And by the time the concert was over, and we were way up in the cheap seats, the third deck on the inside theater or the Coliseum, I had to hold her hand going down the steps. I could barely move my leg. It was so painful. And then I just remember just dragging my leg. Went home, went to the hospital the next day. So that pain, and then in those days, they put you on Valium. They say, don't move. Now, if you get it, they say, move it, right? But that pain over that week's time where everywhere you moved, every time you moved, it was so excruciating. I have actually nerve damage because it affected a nerve behind my left knee. No one can see it, but it's this weird, the way the nerves cross around my calf and over the top of my foot. It feels that little prickly feel, that numbness, like it's asleep. And they did a nerve study and said they're not dead. They just lost the sensation long enough and the brain's not sending them anything over. So I get shooting pains up my leg. But enough about that. My point is, sciatica is one of the worst, most excruciating pains.
Yeah.
And this is how I measured it. Right. If someone tells me and they're like, sciatica, right, it's not just walking off, but some people, when they say that it's debilitating, just because I've experienced it. And I've also had the privilege of having a baby, and I had a baby with no pain medication. I don't recommend that. I wouldn't. Get the epidural. I would go with girlfriends, having the makeup done and everything, going, ooh, I'm pushing. I'm like, and I kept thinking, I could do it. Because they give you stages where they'll say, you're getting to the point of no return. I think, I can do this. And then they tell you to push. And I'm like, no, I want to be under anesthesia. But I digress. Okay. And guess what? I had the baby. It was over with. But I always say, people with sciatica, especially sustained, it can be so excruciating, is that the one thing about the baby is once that baby's out, the pain is over. But that back pain can last a long time or keep reoccurring. But that, knock on wood, I had physical therapy for about 6 months because that's when I learned about my foot. I mean, that I stopped walking like heel to toe. I started walking, lifting my leg with my knee instead of my foot. And the nerve specialist said in an instant, but it's really trippy. But boy, I'm telling you, after that, I that was so valuable to learn from the physical therapy, how to really move with your back. Yep. And there was no incident beforehand. They said sometimes a sneeze can do it, or that just little pressure because it's those little disc things. But anyway, so I guess, Ryan, I've just given you the secret. If you ever need a grace period because you're slow on your social media, you could just say, it's my sciatica. And I go, oh.
No, I Mine goes away. Like if I just go like walk for a half hour or something, it pretty much it goes away after I figured out.
Well,
after I figured out the walking, so
that helped. And yes, and so that's a good thing. But I know that just in years since, instead of keeping you in bed on Valium, drugged out of your mind so you don't move,
that sounds fun.
Yeah. I know, and
I'm counting
I remember
flowers on the wall.
Right. I have that on my iPad. We should do that one night. Do a cursory, like a shuffle, not to play music, but just talks about the names of the music to see how weird we really are.
Like the like playlist type, like what's in our
Right. So you can set it to shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not some big genius with the iPad. I mean my phone. But when they hit the shuffle, I don't always like it because I like to listen to the albums one song at a time. Because I get, if I have it on my iPad, I like every song.
Yeah, I like songs. Listening to albums as one. Like I'm not a fan of just listening to like a song of an artist. Unless it's a mixtape or like if I made a mixtape or someone else made me a mixtape for the purposes of that, or if like a soundtrack that has a lot of really good songs, because there are some.
And the only snobby thing I do sometimes, if I really like, if a very unknown band and I hear a song and I think it's great, I will go and listen to like 1.5 minutes of each song. Because sometimes a band, every single song sounds the same. And what I like is when a band can be really innovative with their music. So there's some bands like the guitarist or the bassist, that's part of it. And that you go, okay, you're going to hear that all the time. But there's some bands that have the same rhythm. Oh, speaking of music, will you write a theme song for the Chef Jenny show for us?
Yeah.
Will it be millions of dollars?
What do you mean?
Will you charge us millions of dollars?
No.
In licensing and royalty?
No.
Because I keep telling when I talk to Jenny, it's like, oh, we'll just have Ryan do it, but I forgot to ask you.
Yeah. No, I'll work. We'll work that out.
We'll work on it. Okay.
I'll figure out. We'll talk about.
Because I was listening to our theme song, and I think the cooking show theme song is going to be different.
Yes. Ours is an instrumental of one of my old songs, which you can actually go to. I have the original song linked in the description. So if you are curious what the actual song sounds like, look in the description, scroll down, and there will be a link to click on that. So check that out.
Yes, I'm not going to say it on.
Talking about music.
We are, and
throw a shameless plug out there.
You should, because you write some really amazing music. And I was thinking, and I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to tell you until somebody else and I finalize it. But there's another potential really awesome podcast idea that the first thing I thought of was, what's the music going to be? So, which would be completely different. But I will share that at a different time when we're ready. But lots of fun because we're having really fun with these podcasts.
Podcasts are
fun. How are we doing on time?
53.
Oh my gosh. So here's one final, unless you have something. I have one more final thing.
Well, one thing I was, thought about that is in the news is the Big Nothing burger that was just released about the UFOs, the UAPs or whatever. They were like, well, we don't know what they are. And so
after spending the last 6 months going,
yeah,
we're unsure. Nobody knows. Yes, it's all hidden. And now they're saying, oh, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. There could be. So yeah, the disclosure was a complete non-disclosure. So that's about. I thought about bringing that up, but I was just like, it's not a full real length topic. So I was like, so it's just a sentence. Yeah.
Right. And my current event is something that just came through in the last couple days, that over 90,000 people were polled on the credibility of the media.
Oh,
Did you see that?
I saw that on
Worldwide,
Burning Points with
right.
Crystal and Sagar. They
So
talked
on
about that.
worldwide, the USA is last, like 49 out of all these countries, at 29%, including Republicans, Democrats, and Independents. And so when you say a story like that, or I think of stories when they're like, don't worry, folks, it's all good, or like a bunch of news about California, and you can see in the titles how things are being spun. So if you do a little digging, not by the headlines or sometimes even by the story because of the ideology behind the writer, if you go, that's weird, this happened, and then, but I almost everything I see is that number one, if they don't want us to know if there's UFOs and the government's in charge of telling us, they can just keep, hanging that stick out in front to get all the media hits, and then just go, well, we're the experts, we don't know. And then local people say, like I keep looking at, because there was a news report out here in the Bay Area that homelessness in the city of Oakland has gone up 68% in the last 2 years. And so, but if you do homelessness in Oakland, it takes you like 10 pages to find anything negative about it, like how it's affecting people. It's all of it is driven. I mean, you can tell the headlines are.
It just pushes it down.
Yeah, and is that the city is saying, so a big thing that happened 2 years ago is the city council passed an ordinance saying that they said, okay, you can have your homeless encampments, you just have to follow our rules, which meant people could put their encampments anywhere except 50 feet from certain areas. But then they could get in within those 50 feet if they had an advocate. So it's kind of like they set these rules up where it was like, okay, this is how we can break. Thank you for telling us how we can violate the rules. But it's hard for me to believe, after working some of the most beautiful parts right in this city. They got a beautiful park, they got a beautiful theater. And the reason I was looking at it a few days ago, it was on the news. June 16th, Juneteenth was celebrated last weekend. And the area that I used to work and go through every single day for many, many years, when they were showing pictures, there were 7 people were shot. It was rival gangs between San Francisco and Oakland. But when they were showing all the still shots of an area that we used to walk around that lake during lunchtime and see the theater, encampments and garbage all over the street. And I was trying to look for that, going, wait, that just happened last weekend. That garbage just didn't appear in a day. But then I was trying to go, why isn't are the businesses okay with it? I can't believe they're okay with it.
Sounds like LA.
Yeah, right. So there's these 2 big blocks of business district, and it's like, is that, oh my goodness, everybody wants to help everyone, and yet so that's kind of how I look at it, to go, whoever's writing it, whoever's paying someone to write it, whoever owns the media, it's like all this stuff is so entrenched. And then I'm not surprised with the media percentage like that, going, I don't know what to believe anymore. So, just like we're doing, just talking about stuff, looking up things, going, how do we know what's real and not? And now I'm close enough where I can go and look for myself. But if somebody else who's never been to Northern California, how would they know?
Right. It's
right. To say we
are the new media.
Right. Oh boy. But to say the 2 Southern California and Northern California has big spots where they put in incredibly weird, and this is what I call weird rules, which is allow big businesses to come in and buy up all of the poor neighborhoods and pay 2 to 3 times what's the value of the homes and turn it into a hipster, tear everything down, rebuild these neighborhoods. Right. And so now the value goes up, the city makes more money.
And a lot of those things that they're building are staying empty. Like,
Well, and the whole
at
thing
least
too,
that's how it
right?
is here. Like,
Right. Well, the thing that is because they wanted to build, because Oakland is a beautiful city, and yet, so people who of little or lower means keep getting moved to more and more of a corner, and a lot of the problems flourish there. But my point is to say, you cannot remove an entire neighborhood, blocks and blocks of people, and then 8 to 10 years later, wonder why there's 6 to 10,000 people living on the street, 70% of which are Black men. Who this is what I imagine. I imagine people who are, have families who could always sleep on somebody's couch, stay in an extra room. It's just, but maybe it was a mother, maybe it was an aunt, maybe it was a grandmother. But when they were moved out, they had to go into smaller places. Because they had to go out into different cities, different apartments where they didn't have this home with a reasonable rent. And so, anyway, but those are the choices. But then to say, and I'm very much aware of it being here because Silicon Valley, they purchased a big, or Twitter did, Squarespace purchased this huge shopping center that was geared towards lower income people. And activists and everyone was screaming and yelling. And then you see the way they solved it was they donated a couple $1 million to outreach programs. And so it's this weird thing of going, well, we destroyed everything in that, that beautiful multicultural neighborhood who wasn't asking, to make any big changes. And now there's all these homeless people. And so then it's this whole weird thing of the city going, well, now we feel guilty, so they can stay anywhere. I just look at the health part of it. Because, if we, and yeah, that's it. And so it's just, so currently, and that just ties into my thing of going, people can choose to do whatever they want. It is a free country. There are people who choose to live outside, and that's what they choose to do. My thing is that, my thing is that tell us the truth about what's going on. Because it took me a couple months to find out like what is going on. And then of course I worked in the city, so you could see to some of the politics, they thought it would be better, but really zhuzhing up a lower income area, it makes it better for people coming in. It makes it a city that invites, big conferences. But anyway, getting back to my current event. And my thing, I didn't want to be. I'm trying to be political. I'm just trying to make a point.
Yeah, say a current event. Let's. Yeah, there.
That's my current event.
We can in homelessness.
Yes, that's.
You and I cannot do
No, we can't. But you know what though? The thing is that to say.
Yeah. What's your current event?
But that is my current event. 29% of people don't believe the media.
Oh, I thought
that's my current event. 29%.
Okay, I thought you were piggyback. Okay, I thought you were still in the.
And I'm giving, and I'm just saying is that's my thing of going. Why I really and rarely look at, that I will only at one glance look and go, oh, I believe that story, or like with the UFOs, I won't believe that story.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I don't know how to even approach the issue anymore.
The UFO issue?
No,
or that
homeless. Homeless.
Oh, I know
stuff. Media too. No one, everybody is, I don't know, finding their sources other ways. And the thing I look for actual documents a lot of times, and replays of things, and people that you trust to actually read those documents,
right?
And
plus if I could just say, right, it took finding different voices saying different things to go, oh, you can start to see the pieces. Because I don't think it started out to be this is a bad thing, and it's just sometimes when we make major decisions, because people are so unique, neighborhoods are unique, counties are unique. When big decisions are made, no one thinks of all of it. Like, well, where are they going to go? And then we didn't think that. So let's have these programs, that's what the city pays for. And that's what the state and the counties pay for, because as a human species, we want them to be taken care of. And for the health things, in like my personal take, not that anyone's asking, I think, did we do something to cause this? Why are you living outside? And it's frustrating because I don't have the answers. And so it's a personal thing for me to think, driving by somebody who's living within the bushes off the side of the freeway, how can I not look at that?
Yeah, what happened in their life where they were like, you know what, this is a good decision.
A zillion, I mean, and again, it's just not anything for me I just don't know how to handle it. And I think, and I'm to be really, really honest as we close it, I don't know how to handle it. So I can sit as judge and jury of politicians. And I think that's what I'm looking for. I mean, just to be really honest, to go, I'm looking for what my bias is, to go, I think I know what happened. You've ruined everyone's lives, and like, again, people having to do, thinking this will be better for everybody, but not realizing and especially, you can't see the future. Who knew in the last 20 years that Silicon Valley would be as humongously rich as it is and powerful, right? Nobody could foresee that. And so a few neighborhoods there, a few neighborhoods here, but then you can't take it back. You can't unring the bell. So, and the different cities and places, they are looking at getting people into those little mini homes, and it's just, but I want to talk about something positive now. I'm going to extend the time because I don't want to end on this, but that's one thing I do believe. 29% of the media trust. I believe that.
Yeah, the ratings are down. Like if you look at YouTube people like like Crystal and Sagar, Jimmy Dore, more people watch them and like tune into their streams than watch the news.
Well, it's all going down, and a couple of reasons is, again, I think almost every news show, we're told it's news, but it's commentary, and then it's more and more theatrics.
Oh, Rachel Maddow, like her show on MSNBC was just ruled whatever, the same thing that happened with Tucker Carlson, where like her program was ruled as just entertainment, not actual information.
Yeah.
And so,
and again, this is something I learned many years ago. It's all content.
Yep. And
if it's content, because that's it, we need content to have our computers. We need content to have Zoom and our phones and everything. That's why YouTube is such a brilliant idea. Having people just produce content for YouTube, right? And
but the corporations are starting to take over, like, and be the highest recommended, and so, but I don't think it'll work, because I think people will still find a lot of the independent creators.
There's just an article about it's still the Wild West in the podcast world, because so many people are pulling away from media, and they're seeing, again, like I kept saying, my research, people reading horoscope online have 700,000 to 800,000 viewers, and over and over and over. Or someone who just wants to talk about motivational speaking, and there's like 4 billion videos posted a day from all over the world. So there's that 4 billion. Can you imagine with the news? Because you see it, because also it's like a Joe Rogan or a Jimmy Dore, they're getting 1 million, 2 million views per video, where CNN, Fox, everything, they're getting 1 to 2 million with all.
Oh no, they're often just getting like several 100,000.
Oh, see, so there's
they're not even like a lot of times they're not even really breaking 1 million,
right. Which gives me a lot of hope, because I had that idea last year when we were talking about the blog, is saying people want to have a different conversation. We're way smarter than the media gives us credit for. And, sometimes part of this show is, I love talking with you and talking about different ideas, but also part of it is us getting used to being on camera all the time.
Yep.
Right. Watching back, see what,
yeah.
And then getting used to it. And
exactly. Improving in the art of recorded conversation.
It's an art. Am I an artist now?
Yes.
Yeah. My hair's getting straighter as it gets longer, so I'm going to get a haircut soon, but I'm trying to change it up, and I'm not going to be able to.
Yeah, I'm still letting mine go. Wasn't planning on this.
No, let it keep growing. Grow that beard.
Grow the beard. Maybe one day.
The long hair and the beard. I'm telling you, you should
look like
you have a little calendar.
Look like an old dirty hippie.
My favorite.
Yeah, man.
There's something about men with long hair and beards.
Yeah, looking like a
Not
wizard.
a bad combo. Looking like a wizard? No.
Yeah.
Like you said, like a hippie.
Yeah. Well, I might look like a wizard because my facial hair has a lot of gray in it. It's,
okay, you know what? And I have a lot of gray in my hair, but you can't see, so no one's going to see it on the camera.
Yeah. Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind. Like gray doesn't really bother me.
But you, of course, when Ryan, as we end this, instead of it being like a cool hippie-looking dude, you'd go right for I want to be the wizard.
Yeah.
Wizard Ryan. That's right. Get on your elliptical, Rita. Go in that closet and talk on the camera. Now I'm going to dream about you being a wizard.
Yeah.
Don't
worry about
see you do it. Yeah. I always tease with Jenny and say, because Jenny's is one of the sweetest people in the world, which I'm trying to teach her to be a diva because of Ryan. Because Ryan, 3 shows ago, you were kind of saucy to me, so.
You started the saucy.
I know.
I was responding in kind.
My point is, so now I'm sweet Jenny is a diva in training, and I make a joke to Jenny to go, like, Ryan's kind of trying to out diva us right now. That's what we want, to have all, these strong, beautiful women on the show with you.
Okay. You guys
just to show. No, Jenny will be sweet. I know. Don't you love it, though? All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Welcome to our new YouTube channel and our new Twitter channel and our new Facebook After Tomorrow channel. And what other channels do we have? We're going to do an Instagram. I'm going to do an Instagram.
And
then we've got an email
Facebook.
now.
We'll have.
If you want to write to us or if you want to be on the show, or we're going to have call-ins. So we're going to have to figure that out someday.
Check the description for all of those links. I'll put them in there, all of our new links. Because they are so new that I didn't have time to add them to our fun overlay here. Like, that is how new all of this stuff is. So,
what is going to be the overlay for this week? You've got it.
Oh no, not the like. I'm talking about like what goes on over the show, the small business. I haven't. Yeah, because normally, all of our our stuff is so new that I haven't had time to add them into the picture. So that is how.
But we're still famous, though. Even though people don't know, they don't know we exist. We're still famous.
I don't know. I will when I bounce everything down. I will see. I will kind of skim through and find something. See if I can find a funny picture. There was something we said at the beginning that I thought was kind of funny that I may. Okay. I'm not going to say
just
what
one thing. An hour and a half with you, and you thought one thing was funny.
Just one thing.
Okay.
I'm a tough critic.
You are. All right. Have a great week, everybody. We will be back next week
for another fun episode. Of
the Rita and Ryan Show.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.